Hello there, everybody. It's Claire from Art Journal Love with another video for graphics arts. Head to graphicsarts.com to see lots of inspiration from other artists using the fabulous graphics products. Here's a list of the products I've used from graphics in this project where I'm going to be making an art journal that I can work in the coming weeks. So I used some graphics sorted chipboard. This comes in roughly an A4 size. Graphics wet media Dura-lar. This was a piece that I used for some alcohol inks. It's lots of fun. Graphics double tack's a great way to stick things onto your project without getting messy glue out. And some of the printed Dura-lar from Graphics. It's the pack called Sassy. So let's have a look at how it all came together. So these are the items, this is what they look like, and I'm going to be using the graphics chipboard as the substrate for the pages in my art journal. I'm just using a Fiskars guillotine just to cut this chipboard. I'm just going to flip it over reverse and cut on the other side as well. It works really easily. And I am cutting these pages to 6 inches square. So I'm going to have a really lovely size journal when I've finished. So for the pages, I'm going to use some of the craft coloured chipboard, some black and some white. I'm going to use a bit of wet media Dura-lar as well, and just because it's nice to have different substrates in your journal that you can work on. This is a really easy way to create a journal using the graphics products because you can bind it together by just punching holes in and using rings to fasten your journal together. It works really nicely and it lays flat when you work in it, or you can take the page out to work in. I'm using my Cropodile just to pop a couple of holes in this first one, and then I'm going to use that, 3 holes. I'm going to use that as my template for punching the holes through onto the other pieces of chipboard as well. So then I'm starting to think about how I want to decorate my journal. I'm going to use this pack of printed Dura-lar. This is the set called Sassy, and I'm going to use one of the pieces for the front cover. I love the animal print that's on that first sheet that you can see. And in this pack, you get a sheet of clear transparency and a sheet of this kind of frosted one as well. So this Duralar is great for using any media on. It works really well with paint, with alcohol inks. And I'm just going to show you how I'm going to pop some alcohol inks on here to start off with. Super easy. Going in with some blending solution first. I'm using some of the Tim Holtz neon alcohol inks because they're a real lovely bright pop of colour. And I'm using this tool just to kind of move the alcohol inks around a little bit, not worrying too much about where they go to start off with, but just using that little air blower just to move them around. And I know that I can go in with more blending solution, more alcohol inks, and just kind of keep working it until I am happy with how it looks. So as you can see, I've added all my colours on there, and then I'm just spending a bit of time adding a bit more blending solution, adding more colour and just tweaking those patches of colour so that they are as pigmented as I want them to be. And just so that when I flip this over and look at the reverse, you can see those lovely colours coming through. So obviously this piece of Dura-lar is a little bit frosted, so it is going to give a slightly frosted look, but it's a really lovely effect. So what I'm opening here is the double tack. So this is a double-sided adhesive, which is fantastic for using. You don't need to get any glue out, so it's nice and easy. It would be perfect for taking away with you on holiday. A pair of scissors and you are ready to go, really, if you're wanting to do creating while you're away. So I've just peeled back one of the layers. I'm going to stick on what will be my cover, and then I'm just going to cut that out really carefully. And then I have some adhesive all over the front of that cover. Then all you need to do is peel back the film that's over the top, and you've got this nice sticky surface. Position your work where you want to stick it, and that is literally it. It's so easy. It is brilliant for doing this kind of thing. So then I'm just repunching those holes back into the journal cover, and now I've got that lovely piece of Dura-lar with the bright alcohol inks. The alcohol inks are on the side that is next to the chipboard. So I can now work onto this surface and add more details on there just to finish my journal. I'm using some Collage Soup images here to add to my journal as well. I'm just going to kind of make these how I want them to be so that they work with the space that I've got. I don't want to lose all of that lovely background. So that's why I am just disappearing one or two more of the flowers that are on this lady's hair, just so that I'm not disappearing all of those lovely colours. So then I'm going to do the same with this image. I'm going to pop it onto the double tack, flip the surface piece back over just so that I can cut it out without sticking myself to the double tack. Um, and there we go. So it does mean you've got to fussy cut round again, but do you know what? Actually, not having to get any glue out, it's just so nice and easy. And you can see through the film as well, so it's quite easy to cut without getting all sticky on your scissors and your fingers. So again, you just peel that film off and you are left with adhesive on the back of your image, and you can just stick that straight in place. I'm making that look more difficult than it actually is. You can position it where you want it to be and it sticks down beautifully. I ended up changing the rings in the journal as well for some slightly smaller ones. I think if it was a journal I was going to add more and more and more pages in, then bigger rings are going to work nicely. You saw there that I cut a piece off the side and added it on somewhere else. That's easy to do. But yeah, this is such an easy way to create an art journal. Next, I am just going in with some paint pens and just adding a bit more colour and depth to some of these images just to make them pop out a little bit from the background. It's fun to kind of add your own touch to images as well, isn't it? And just not leave them exactly as they are. And time for a bit of mark making. So I'm just adding some little dots onto some of those black parts from the pattern that's on the printed Dura-lar. It's just nice to do a bit of doodling and mark making on your projects too. So once I'd done that, my journal was pretty much ready to go. So if you come back over the next few months, you will see me creating in this art journal, and you can see how very easy it was to make as well. The pages in there are made of the graphics mixed chipboard, a couple of pages of the wet media Dura-lar, which mean I can kind of play a bit with the transparency. But yeah, a really, really easy way to make your own journal. So get yourself over to the Graphics Arts website and have a look at their fabulous products. Look at all the inspiration from lots and lots of other artists. Here is some close-up pictures of the journal I've created. I added some lovely ribbon to the side of it as well, just to make it look pretty, because, you know, why not? I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.